this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this simple flower granny square as a left-handed crocheter. This tutorial is beginner friendly, but you will need to know the crochet basics. I will be going quite slowly and explaining the stitches as we come to them. So let's get crocheting these simple flower granny squares. We're going to start our flower granny square with a magic ring. This is how I prefer to make my magic rings. So I'm going to take my yarn tail and I'm going to wrap it around my first finger only 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to use my middle finger just alongside my first finger to keep those wraps in place with my yarn tail down here. I'm then going to put my crochet hook underneath those first 2 wraps and grab the 3rd wrap with my hook and then pull that wrap underneath those 2 other wraps. I'm then going to gently remove all of this from my finger, and you can see that we've got 2 wraps of yarn here forming a circle, and that is our magic ring. So we're now going to crochet round 1. So to start round 1, we're going to do a chain 3, and this counts as our first double crochet stitch. That's double crochet in US terms. I'll put the UK terms up here. So we're going to chain 3, so yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to start crocheting, and our first round needs to be 12 double crochet stitches, but we've just made our first chain 3 that is going to count as our first double crochet stitch. So we need 11 more double crochets. So we're going to be making those stitches into the center of this double magic ring around both of those strands of yarn. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to put my crochet hook underneath both of those strands of yarn, and I'm going to yarn over again, pull up a loop. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook, then I'm going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the second 2 loops. And that was a double crochet stitch. So let's make another one. Yarn over, put the hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again, yarn over, put our hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. So now if we have a little look at what we've done so far, we've got our magic ring down here, we've got our starting chain 3 here, and then we've got 3 double crochet stitches. So we've done 4 double crochets because remember we're counting that. So we need to do another 8 double crochet stitches. So yarn over, hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, put your hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Hopefully you're getting the hang of the double crochet stitch now, so we need to keep making those into our magic ring. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish off making our 12 double crochet stitches, and I'll meet you back at the end of this round. So I've now made my 12 double crochet stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Make sure you count that you've definitely got 12, because otherwise you will have the wrong number of petals on your flower. So now we're going to close up this double magic ring, and this is a little bit differently if you've made a different sort of double magic ring before. There are 2 steps to it. The first step is we're going to take our yarn tail and give it a pull, and if we watch those 2 strands that form our magic ring there, one of them will start to tighten. That was this one here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull on that strand of yarn that just started to tighten, and that will tighten the other strand of yarn. There we are. That is now all tight in the middle there. So I am going to then pull on that yarn tail one more time to get rid of that baggy loop. And there you can see we've closed up that magic ring. So we've got our 12 stitches now, so now we need to finish off our round. So to finish off the round of crochet, we're going to make a slip stitch into the top of the starting chain. So if I bring this a little bit closer so you can see, this is our starting chain here, and that is the top of our starting chain. So I'm going to put my hook somewhere in that chain, and now we're going to make a slip stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, pull that loop through the top of that chain and the loop that was already on our hook. We're now ready to fasten off. So to fasten off, make a chain of 1, and then we're going to cut our yarn, leaving a tail approximately 6 inches long for weaving in later. And then to finish fastening off, take your crochet hook and pull that yarn tail through that chain 1 and give it a pull, and that will tighten off there, and that is our first round finished. So I've pulled up the yarn end from the next colour that I'm joining for the flower petals, and we're going to join this colour to our circle that we've already made that's the centre of our flower. So to do this, I'm going to take my crochet hook and I'm going to put it into the top of any of these stitches. And can you see at the top of these stitches, we've got some V's like this. So we're going to put our hook underneath both of the loops at the top of the stitch. That's how we work into the top of crochet stitches. And then I'm going to take my yarn end, leaving approximately a 6-inch tail again, and I'm going to lay my yarn across my crochet hook like this. I'm then going to grab that yarn and pull up a loop from nowhere through that stitch there. And we've now joined our pink yarn. I like to then take my yarn tail and take it behind my hook over the working yarn and lay it along the top of my stitches so I can crochet around it as I go. We're now going to make our first flower petal, and to do this we do a treble crochet cluster, or if in the UK, a double treble crochet cluster. Don't worry, this is a lot easier than it sounds, and I'm going to take you through it step by step. So our first petal is a little bit different from the other 11 petals, so let's make that first. So we're going to start with a chain of 3, so yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And then we're going to make a partial treble crochet stitch, and we're going to stop that stitch right before that very last yarn over and pull through. So to do this, yarn over twice, so we've got 2 wraps around our hook, then put your hook back into the same stitch as where we just made that join, and then yarn over and pull up a loop. We should now have 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We've now got 2 loops on our hook. We're going to make another one of these partial treble crochet stitches back into that same stitch. So yarn over twice and then put your hook into that same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We now have 3 loops on our hook and 3 partial treble crochets. We've stopped all of those stitches right at the very last yarn over and pull through. So to finish our petal and make that point at the top of the petal, we yarn over and then I'm going to pull that yarn over through all 3 loops on my hook, creating that point at the top of the petal. Before we make our next petal, we're now going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And now we're ready to make the next petal, and this petal is the same for the rest of the 11 petals of this round to make our 12 petaled flower. So we're going to make those partial treble crochets again. So yarn over twice, making 2 wraps on the hook, then put your hook into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop. There's our partial treble crochet. We've got 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over twice, put your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again yarn over twice. We've got 2 wraps on our hook, put your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we've got 4 loops on our hook and we've got 3 partial treble crochet stitches into 1 stitch. So we're going to do exactly the same as how we finished off that last petal. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull it through all 4 loops that are on our hook to make that point of the petal. So we're going to repeat those steps into every stitch all the way around our circle. So we're going to make 2 chains, so yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Then we're going to make another petal. So I'm yarning over twice, putting my hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again, yarn over twice, put my hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again, yarn over twice, put your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then to finish off that petal, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. So we're going to repeat this all the way around, and I'm going to stick with you for a couple more petals and then I will leave you to finish the round. So we're going to make 2 more chains and then we're going to make our next petal. And if you can see, our next petal, we have got a slip stitch and then our starting chain. So you have 2 choices here. You can either make your petal into that slip stitch or into the starting chain. I think I'm going to make it into the slip stitch. So I'm going to yarn over twice, and then I'm going to put my hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again, yarn over twice, put your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, put your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then finally yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. That's another petal made. Hopefully you're getting the hang of these treble crochet clusters now. So we'll do one more together. So I'm going to chain 2 and then I'm going to make a partial treble crochet into the next stitch. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, put your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, put your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 4. So we've now made 5 petals. So keep repeating this all the way around until you've got 12 petals with chains of 2 between them, and I'll meet you back at the end of this round and I will show you how we fasten it off. So here I am at the end of round 2. But before we fasten off, I strongly recommend you count your petals and double check you've got 12, because I've made this mistake before and then the maths for the square does not work. You need to have 12 petals with 12 chain 2 spaces between them at the end of this round. So I've made my last chain of 2 for between my last petal and the first petal that I made, and then we're going to slip stitch to join. And I have a tip here for when you slip stitch into cluster stitches, is to not go into the top of that chain or underneath both legs of that V. What I would recommend doing is actually to go in the top of that cluster stitch and pick up at least one extra loop at the back of the cluster stitch there. Can you see my hook's gone under 2? And then make your slip stitch. And what this does is it keeps it looking similar to the other clusters in this round. So then I'm going to fasten off just like we did at the end of round 1 by chaining 1, cutting my yarn, leaving a tail for weaving in later. And then I'm going to take my crochet hook and pull that tail through that chain of 1 and give it a tug. And that is round 2 finished. As you can see on this finished square here, round 3 turns our circle into a square by making 4 corners. And we do this by making chains in our corners, and actually these stitches closest to the corners are treble crochets, whereas the rest are double crochets. So that is what changes our circle into a square. The other thing to say about round 3 is this is worked entirely in those chain 2 spaces that we made between the petals of round 2. We're not going in the tops of any stitches. So let's get started with round 3. So I'm going to pick any chain 2 space, because remember we're working in the spaces, any chain 2 space, and I'm going to put my hook into it. And then we're going to join our next colour just like we did at the beginning of round 2. We're going to take our yarn tail and I'm going to lay my yarn across my crochet hook and pull up a loop through that chain 2 space. And then I'm going to do what I did in the last round, and I'm going to take my yarn tail over the top of my working yarn and lay it alongside my crochet stitches. So we're now ready to start round 3. So our first group of stitches that's all going to be worked into this chain 2 space is 4 double crochets. So we're going to start with the chain 3 that counts as our first double crochet stitch, and then I'm going to make 3 more double crochets all into this space. So for double crochets, we yarn over, put our hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to make 2 more double crochets into that chain 2 space. Just like this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches all into the same space. So into the next chain space we're going to repeat this, so we're going to work 4 more double crochets all into the same chain space. So there's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and 4 double crochet. So we've now made sort of part of the side of our square. When in our next group we're actually going to make the corner. So we're going to be making only treble crochets into the next chain space. So we're going to work 3 treble crochets into this chain space. So treble crochet, yarn over twice, put your hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again yarn over twice, put your hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again yarn over twice, put your hook into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've now made 3 treble crochets into the same chain 2 space. So now we're going to make a corner by using 2 chains. So I'm yarning over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So there's 2 chains there that count as my corner. I'm now going to work 3 treble crochet back into that very same space. We're not going into the next space, we're going back into that same space. So we're going to make our first treble crochet. I yarn over twice, put my hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then I'm going to make 2 more treble crochets just like that into that same space. And that has made our corner. You might want to give it a little bit of a pull just to sort of stretch it up into making that corner. So now we're going to repeat these 3 groups. So in the next space, we're going to do 4 double crochet, and the same again in the space after that. And then the space after that, we're going to do another corner group of 3 trebles, 2 chains, and then 3 trebles. So let's work those together. So get rid of all of this excess yarn. So 4 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. So there is 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and 4 double crochet. And then we repeat that one more time. So I'm working 4 double crochet into the next chain space. Don't forget that you can pause, speed up and slow down my YouTube tutorials to your own pace. So now we've made those 2 groups of 4 double crochet. In the next corner, I'm going to make my corner group of 3 treble crochet, sorry, not double crochet, treble crochet. So 3 treble crochet, chain 2, 3 treble crochet. So there's our first treble crochet and our second treble crochet and our third treble crochet. And then to make our corner, we chain 2, and then again make 3 more treble crochet, remember, into the same space, not the next space, the same space. So there's our first treble crochet, our second treble crochet, and our third treble crochet. So you now need to repeat these steps all the way around our square until we've got 4 sides and 4 corners. So we're going to do 4 double crochet, 4 double crochet, our corner group, 4 double crochet, 4 double crochet, our corner group, and then I'll meet you back here and we will fasten off and finish off our square. So I've now finished round 3 and we're going to do a slip stitch join just like we did at the end of round 1. So I'm going to take my crochet hook and put it into the very top of my starting chain, yarn over, pull that loop through the starting chain and the loop on my hook. And then to fasten off, I'm going to make 1 chain, cut my end and pull it through that chain, pull the end through the chain with your crochet hook. So the next step after you finish this square is to weave in all of these ends, and I have a great tutorial for that I will link on the screen. I also have a tutorial that you might be interested in to join squares just like this with an invisible stitch. I'll also link on the screen. Let me know down in the comments what you're going to make with your flower granny square.